Hey guys, Dave Doku here. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Kamen episode 23, so let's get started. So the episode opens us up to Gates coming down the stairs, and he kind of asks where are Sukoimi and Sogo. And Sukoimi, he hasn't heard from Sukoimi, but Sogo's actually taking a makeup exam because he's at risk of not being able to graduate. And he seemed pretty confident with him saying that he saw the future of his exam and that when he gets to school, we see that he's pretty confident. When he gets to the next page, it looks like he actually fluked because he actually got a really low score. And the school's actually letting him take a makeup test for the makeup exam, which is pretty odd. And while studying, he actually falls asleep. Now, he actually wakes up in the dream world where he's trying to buy something. An old lady asks him, is he a human or machine? When he says the answer that he's human, I think, the old lady's eyes actually turn red and he starts attacking Sogo. When he runs into an old man, the old man asks him the same question, is he a man or machine? The old man does the same and actually gets red eyes and starts attacking Sogo. When he's cornered, a man appears behind him and says stop and pulls out a wrench, which he throws up in the air, which summons a version of the Ziku driver, which is actually the most basic we've seen and less different from the base Ziku driver. And he pulls out a screwdriver and places it both on top of the Ziku driver, which transforms him into Kamen Rider Kikai. So his transformation is actually really cool in that it's like a Kamen Rider being built with the words of dynamic, destructive, heroic, which is so cool with transformation. And the ending, he says that a body of steel, a fire in my heart, Kamen Rider Kikai. Next, we see him fight against the two people who are attacking Sogo, and uses an attack called the Mechanical Annihilator, which is like a rider kick which beats both of them. Next, his dream world kind of shakes and we see that it's just his cell phone and Gates is calling him about another rider. When Sogo arrives, he transforms into ZO2. With the power of ZO2, he's actually really able to beat him. When the rider actually tries to do a rider kick against him, he uses a rider strike from his saber which beats him. After being beaten, we don't actually see anyone behind another rider, which surprises Gates, and Sogo actually leaves to study more. Next, we see a bug-looking thing kind of appear out of the head of another rider, which crawls up onto a tree and form another rider, which is very unique from what we normally get. And we see that and Hora are talking, and neither of them actually did this, and even Schwartz. And they ask the question of who else would make another riders. Next, we see Sogo actually studying math, and he actually falls asleep. During his dream world, we actually see him run into the rider again, which already knows Sogo's name, and his name is Makina Rento. Next, we see Sogo kind of tell him that this is a dream. Next, we see a bunch of kids actually go up to Rento and say that were there more humanoids, and he kind of tells them, yeah, there were, and they don't need to worry. And this leads to the kids start to chant charge up along with Sogo, which leads Rento to stand in front of them and do a pose, and we see a satellite up in orbit and actually beams down energy right into Rento, which charges him up. Next, we see him explain that there's a satellite up there that means solar power via laser. Next, we see him say that this is the year 2121 and that Sogo dreaming of the future. And Sogo goes up to him and asks why this seem a bit old school, and he actually says that what were those things that attacked us, and that actually a humanoid that is actually a mechanical life that takes the form of a human. In that and this time the world is actually ruled over by machines, in that they're actually inside of a human preserve which preserves humans from getting extinct. The humanoids don't even allow that and start attacking this place, and that's why there's humanoids inside the preserve. And we actually see both Sogo and Rento in front of what looks like to be or beside a radio, which is kind of saying about the rendezvous point, and that Rento's actually looking after these kids and Rento's actually gonna take them there, and humans are planning a counterattack. And then a bunch of humanoids appear and Rento transforms, and he actually uses a new attack which is called Ultimate Finish, which is actually a rider kick and a rider punch. After seeing Rento use it, Sogo recognizes the same attack as another Kikai, and Sogo actually gets hit by one of the items that the humanoid was holding, which knocks him to the ground. Next, we see Gates actually fighting against another Kikai and he uses the 5 Rider Watch, which he leads up in the air and finishes the fight easy. When Sogo gets there, he calls another rider another Kikai, and that he's a rider created from Kamen Rider Kikai, and that he's a future rider. And Gates questions Sogo why does he know this, and that Sogo explains that he saw this in a dream, and Gates tells him to get serious. And Sogo leaves after, leaving Gates, and we actually see both White Wolves and Tsukimi arrive there and ask that why is Gates with Sogo. And White Wolf steps up and says that a rider from the year 2121, that's beyond my knowledge, and that the dreams that Sogo's been having is kind of like premonitions. And Tsukimi adds that Sogo's power is growing beyond what we ever imagined, and that the only choice they have is to beat Sogo to defeat Omazio. And then Sogo looks like that he's really gonna stop sleeping. He actually smells lavender, which is from Gates, who's fanning it to him, and that he really wants Sogo to sleep. Gates says that his dreams are more just that, he might be seeing the future, and when Gates looks back at Sogo, he finds out that Sogo fell asleep. In the dream world, we can see Rento trying to wake up Sogo, and we see that Rento is really low on power. When Rento tries to do his pose to get energy, a red beam hits him instead of a blue one, which makes Rento scream and forces a transformation. And in the ending, he does the same kind of stick as the Humazoids, and that are you human or machine? Next, we see that Sogo actually woke up, and we see that Gates is fighting another Kikai. While fighting another Kikai, Woz appears and uses the Shinobi Rider Watch. With the power of both of their finishers, they manage to push another Kikai onto the ground. Then we see that Sogo appears and transforms with the Zero Rider Watch too. While transforms, he actually finishes the fight with King Kashing Slash and beats another Kikai. And when the bug actually tries to run away, Schwartz picks it up, forces it to combine with which makes another Kikai, and he screams and gets away. While another Kikai is away, Schwartz tells him that as for who obtains that power, why don't we have a little race? Which leads Woes to say that it'll be ours, which leads him to leave with Squimmy and Gates. Next we see what happens to Rento in the dream world, and that after getting hit by that red beam, he essentially turns into, well, the bad guy, and still does their shtick of are you a human or a machine? Which ends the episode, so thank you guys for watching.